first two installments, I've introduced the idea that emotion is primary to everything we do. And among our emotions, interest is primary. Interest makes the possible possible. In the last episode, I explained a straightforward way to understand what happens when we don't get what we want. What do we want? Several great philosophers and psychologists have asked this question, and it seems clear-cut that what we want is to be happy. We may express it in terms of securing a new car or the fact that a stock tripled in value last year. But at the end of the day, why did we want those things? We wanted the emotional payoff of investing interest, time, and energy in obtaining that success. Success can come directly. I go out to dinner and I'm interested in my favorite entree at my favorite restaurant, and I order it and it is delicious. I'm happy. My interest has been satisfied. But let's go back to the situation where my interest is blocked, when the entree comes back and it's overcooked, when I'm late for a dinner party, or when a stock crashes 20%. Here we go back to some childhood admonitions of stop, look, and listen. I'm suggesting we train ourselves to keep in consciousness the best we can how we are feeling. With practice, we keep in mind that interest is an emotion, and it can be blindsided. Most all examples I've given so far are examples of our interest being broken in the moment. We did not expect the entree to be overcooked. We did not expect the traffic jam. We did not expect the client not to show up. At the moment of interruption, we feel something. I like to use the words hurt and confusion for that moment. When we are blindsided, there is no way to get in front of or avoid completely the confusion or pain that moment of being blindsided causes us. Of course, many of us are well prepared through multiple life experiences and through our upbringing to confront the moment and overcome it quite easily. Many of us might think that what I am saying is even silly. You might be quite confident in being able to move on from any disaster. For example, I became aware that someone I knew had their house destroyed by fire, but nevertheless, the next day they left on a planned vacation. I thought, what an organized life they must have. Most of us are not that well prepared, and I'm saying that most of us would do better if we became more conscious of what is going on underneath our thinking. As promised, I said there were 5 things we can do when we are blindsided. We can withdraw, we can blame ourselves, we can avoid, and we can attack. The 5th way is to renew our interest and solve the problem. I presented a graphic of this near the end of the last episode. We can look at this as a mirror image of what I just presented earlier concerning the 4 ways we can make things worse. Here I replace the words withdrawal, avoid, attack, self or other with the words define, evaluate, do, and control. As adults, we should learn that going around this circle from define and getting some distance on the problem to evaluating the problem to doing something about the situation and controlling the situation is not necessarily easy. We can go around and around hundreds of times and not achieve our goals. But this is better than making the situation worse by withdrawing, blaming ourselves, blaming others, or avoiding. This is the difference between feeling pride or feeling guilt. Thank you for listening. Dr. Lynch. A reminder that this material is not to be taken as personal or direct financial or medical advice.